Hello, everyone. And we're back again.
Oh, she said like a whole, the woman who speaks just to me, apparently, because you can never hear her, said like a whole monologue. Usually she's like, this video is being recorded. She's like, this video is being recorded. This video is having notes taken. This video, da, 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 da. She had lots to say today.
Well, then.
Yeah.
He's doing all the work and not us.
Great.
Oh my gosh. Well, before we even begin, we only have like this episode and 2 more after this. And then we're taking a summer vacation. Yes, we are going on vacation.
Staying at home, doing all the work that we don't get done any other time.
Those are going to be some great faces. Anyways.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So we're going to be on a little bit of vacation, but just because we're on vacation doesn't mean we're actually on vacation, because the Paranormal Seekers have a crap ton of stuff to do. We're busy. What is it? For July, we've got like 3 investigations, 3 public events. Then we've got the end of June here, which is, when's this come out? This comes out next week. So by the time this comes out, we've already done 2 events and we've got an investigation. There's just a lot of stuff. But we'll be back with lots of new cool, topics and weird shit to talk about. Maybe with some weird people too.
Yeah.
And we should mention that, in August, we will be going on a little adventure, which we will more than likely probably be live streaming.
100%. Stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, and that's going to be, I guess you can call it a collaboration with another duo.
Yes, the dynamic duo.
That'll be fun. All right, but anyways, that's it. I don't got any other news other than it was supposed to rain today, but it's not.
Oh no, it's beautiful out there.
I know, it was supposed to be like
out there.
17 degrees and raining, but it's actually, according to CP24 right now, it's 20 degrees and sunny.
Yep.
I'll take it. I'm not gonna.
It sure is. And it's that beautiful, like, there's a nice breeze that keeps you just cool enough, but not cold. And the sun is like beautifully hot. Yes.
Summer!
People, we did it.
Speaking of doing it, you just got back from a trip out east.
I did. I was in Prince Edward Island, and it was really beautiful. We had phenomenal weather. It rained slightly on Tuesday, kind of in the morning. Then it was like insanely hot and beautiful. And then it cooled right off and rained in the evening, which is fine because we were already, we had just turned onto the side street where our bed and breakfast was, and it just started to gently rain. So by the time we got into the hotel, then it rained. But that was really cool because we were in this old home that's being converted into a bed and breakfast, and we were right at the very top. So essentially this place, there's not a ton of history. I know I reported all on it because we did a whole thing for PI, and if you think I can find those notes, I can't. And then when you go on and Google it, there's not a lot, but the owners, who are fairly new, are Asian. And I know a lot of cultural beliefs, they do not like anything to do with spirits and ghosts and anything. So I'm thinking probably a lot of stuff got taken down. Yeah. And that's fine. But it's a beautiful old home. It was built in the late 1800s. So where we were was the staff quarters that they've renovated. So my whole point was when it was raining, you could really hear it because it's like we're in the freaking attic, basically. And so it just added to the ambiance of the whole thing. So it was really good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But don't worry, in August, you're going to be staying in another old home too.
I know.
I'm super excited for that.
I don't know where it is, and I don't know if that is because I'm not supposed to know or not, but I'm kind of fine. I actually don't want to know because then I can know.
Because I was going to say, I could tell you all about it.
No.
I stayed there twice. This will be my 3rd time.
Let me do my thing so when I get there, I can be like, I'm sensing this.
It's going to be super. We got like two full days. Well, like a day and a half, I guess.
Yeah, like we do. I don't know. Yeah,
because we're going on the Thursday, and then we've got all Friday too. But we'll be home Friday night. But it's gonna be fun. Lots of stuff. Somebody else is already super excited about it too, because it keeps asking me about, what are we doing? Where do you want to go? What should we do? Should we do this? Should we do that? How much? Blah, 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 blah.
I love it.
It's still June. Give me time. I can't plan that fast. Let me slow playing here. He's all
We
excited.
will have a blast. Good. It's fun.
But today, our topic is about another old building.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's in Durham Regions, so it's actually close to us.
Really close to me.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm like 20 minutes from it. You're what, 15?
Yeah, if that.
Something
It's
like
not
that.
very long for me to get into port. So, yeah.
No, but yeah, it is located in Port Perry, and it is, I guess, if you want to call it the infamous, world famous, whatever, Jesters Court Pub and Eatery. It's a restaurant, everybody, and it's good. And it's haunted. And it's haunted. Now, before we begin, I just spent the last 2 hours looking for my notes on this place. Because yes, I did a very thorough research because we did a documentary with
Natalie?
were the York University students? No.
They
Ryerson.
Ryerson.
Yeah. Toronto Metropolitan.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
They were team.
I said a bad word there, I think. I don't know what Ryerson means, but
us old folks, it's Ryerson, but
yeah.
Cancel culture. We'll just say that. Anyways. But yeah, so I did have all of these notes, birth dates, death cause, all this kind of stuff. And I spent the last 2 hours going through every single file of mine in my 2 filing cabinets to look for it. And it's nowhere to be found. The only research I could find was the research I did on August 10th, 2020 or 2005, 2005, 20 years ago is the only research notes I can find. So I'm going off of what's still left in here.
Holy moly.
Yeah, 20 friggin' years. We've been around for 22.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so Jesters Court. If you've been, you know. If you haven't, well, you're about to find out.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, both Kaz and I are in Jesters Court.
We are here.
Would have been nice to actually have been
I
there.
was going to say, we should have actually been there, but I think they had an event or something. And
must have, or whoever checks their emails and stuff doesn't do a very good job. But they're always busy, so we'll give them that much credit.
Yes. And to be honest, this time of year is so busy down there because Port Perry is kind of a seasonal town, right? Yeah. So when the sun is out like this, it is horrendously busy. So they're probably rushed off their feet.
Yeah.
And good for them.
But that's okay, because we give them business too.
Yep.
Always have, always will. We used to have our team meetings there for the Paranormal Seekers. We still should.
Oh, yeah.
I know. And they know us. But yeah. So, all right. So, Jesters Court. So the building that's there now was not always the building that was there. That was built a long time ago. But after the first one. This is my brain. This is my brain going through the Rolodex in there trying to figure it out. All right. So let's read off of my old notes. We'll compare. All right. So in 1844, a man by the name of Elias William owned the piece of land. So that little piece of land there. When he died in 1851, the property was then given to his son, Robert. Now, Peter Perry, who Port Perry is named after, would then buy the land from Robert, who then sold it to a man by the name of James McConnell, who then sold it to James Good a few months later. So it's just
holy moly.
You got to remember that this is just a piece of land. There's nothing on it at the moment. When James Good purchased the land, he built the first building on the property, which was a workshop and a residence, and that was in 1859. So this residence was then turned into a hotel by a man by the name of Daniel Ireland, who purchased the property.
Okay.
All right. So that old building had a lot of history. It held its first nomination meeting, which was, I guess, for the town, like town council and all that, in December of 1871. By 1880, the hotel had changed names and hands a whole bunch of times. So its owners at that point had been a John Adams, a John Smith, I feel like I'm naming beer and Disney characters now.
Yeah.
An E.A. Prince and an Andrew Campbell. So about 10 years later, somewhere in the 1890s, well, the first fire in Port Perry happened. Yes, the first fire in Port Perry. I'm going to see if I have actual information about that.
Side note, I apologize now for all of the sneezing or sniffing. I have been gardening, so therefore I am now having a complete histamine attack.
Oh my gosh.
I can just
Okay, never
feel
mind.
my nose
It's not
itching.
the 1890s. It says this is why I need my real notes. So apparently 1883 was the first fire. And it started in the Thompson House, which was a hotel, and it moved along the north side of Queen, which is the side that Jesters Court is on, if you want to say that
Right.
So it was apparently started when a confectionery shop caught fire.
Oh.
Of course, back in the 1800s, everything was made of wood, so it just all went. Like there was no stopping it. There was no fire brigade. There's no fire trucks.
Nope.
Just people with buckets.
People with buckets. Yep.
That's even that. Even if they could find a bucket, right?
Oh gosh.
As far as we know, there was no deaths with that fire. As far as we know, it said, but there were some injuries. It said one of the injuries was while the town was burning, some falling embers fell on a member of the fire brigade that they had, which was pretty much volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
And a man by the name of Joseph Deshane was severely injured with severe burns to his face, and he lost an eye.
Ooh.
So that shit was burning hot.
Yeah.
So we have that. Now, that building's gone. It burned down. Bye-bye. Empty space. There was also another fire on July 3rd, 1884. So not even like a year later. And it started in the sheds of another hotel, which is oh my God. This is what happens when I read shit notes. I'm so glad I evolved. So they rebuilt this hotel, I guess, this built house or something from the sounds of it. And then this other fire started at this hotel where the present day post office is located, which is literally beside it.
Yeah.
And again, I guess it burned down. These are my notes. They're probably wrong, but whatever.
How pissed would you be if you just rebuilt and then another fire? Because it's not like today where they throw up a house in a week. Like you gotta saw the lumber and make it and shape it and put it all up. And they'd be like, look at the amazing work we did, boys. And someone's like, that's great. Throws their cigarette in the fan. Oh my God.
Well, that was what life was like in the late 1800s. Everything burned multiple times. But anyways, eventually after all of these fires, they finally got everything, I guess, figured out, Again, they evolved. There was just a foundation left on that property. So in 1913, James Carnegie purchased the land from Andrew Campbell. And he tore down the workshop that was still there, and he built a 2-story red brick house in 1914, which is what stands there today. Ta-da! So yeah, he built that house. He had how many children did he have? So James Carnegie, he was a very active man in the community. He took a lot of positions within the public. So he held position of reeve for 3 terms. He served as the warden of the county of Ontario in 1899. And he purchased a flour mill and successfully operated it before it was destroyed by fire. So fire is a very common theme here, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
James married, and I don't even have his wife's name, and I feel absolutely friggin' awful because I don't have it on these notes, but I have it on my other notes. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 children.
Holy moly. He
All
was more than just an active member in the community.
He was active.
Also in the bedroom.
All, we'll say 10 out of his 12 children went well into adulthood. However, one child did pass away at the age of 9 months, and that would be Caroline Ann. And another one of his children, so his first child, so his first son born, Alexander James, was only 20 when he died, and he drowned in Lake Scugog while rafting logs. Other than that,
wow,
all of their children lived to be quite old. A couple of them died in their 40s, and the rest were, 60s, 80s, 70s, and one died at 92. So they lived long lives.
Mm-hmm.
I know. That's pretty good. Let me see. What else do I got here on that? Nope, that's not that. Okay. So, James Carnegie, when he passed away, he did die in the house. So he is dead in that house. Well, then again, back at that time, everybody died at home.
Yes.
And then the family members of the Carnegie family lived in the house until 1934, when they sold the home to John and Lorena Murray. So this house then became known as the Murray House. And in August of 1978, a Carol Morrow purchased the Murray House and converted it into a restaurant. So it's been operating as a restaurant pretty much since 1978.
Wow.
And then, so over the years, obviously, it's changed names. They used to, I think when the restaurant first started, it was called the Murray House.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually it changed names to Jesters Court. And it's changed, obviously, owners since. And it is what it is today.
Mm-hmm. I have a client, I think I told you, she had her wedding reception there, and it was the Murray House.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, the owner, he gathered up all of the kids at the wedding reception, and he's like, I'm going to take you on a tour of the place. And he told them ghost stories of the ghosts that are there. And of course, I'm telling my client about us and this. And I think I don't know how we got on the topic of Justice Court, or maybe she mentioned it. She did, because she's currently working for the city of Scugog. And she's like, oh, I walked out and then there's Jesters Court, blah, 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 and it's haunted. And I was like, oh, I know, I've been there. And so she was saying that the kids had gone on this thing and learned about the ghosts. And of course, they're all like, oh, there's ghosts here. And she thought it was all jokes. She thought the guy was just teasing the kids. And I'm like, no.
Nope.
And then I sent her the link to the documentary. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, I got to send this to my son, because at the time he was younger and was one of the kids on the tour. I was like, Mom, it's haunted. And she's like, no, it's not. She's like, he's going to love it. I'm like, do it.
So as you can, with all this history and all this changeover and all the stuff that went down in Port Perry, and God knows what else happened behind closed doors that we don't know about because history doesn't write about it. Guess what? Yes, it is a haunted place.
Yes.
So there's a lot of different stories about the hauntings and different things. So I have a bunch of stuff written down. So I've got that people have seen a thin woman, approximately in her 70s. She's got a high-collared blue dress, a long white bibbed apron, and a gray hair in a bun. They've seen her apparition. They've seen a little girl sitting on the stairs playing with a doll. A previous owner awoke to someone shouting her name in the middle of the night, I'm assuming, and found a candle burning against a windowsill and didn't know how a lit candle got there. That same owner also found a lit candle every morning for a month.
Oh my gosh.
A spectral couple has been seen sitting at table 13, which is actually to the side on the main floor. And that spectral couple is an elderly woman. Oh, and that spectral couple has an elderly woman serving them. And this has been seen from the streets after the place has been closed. So you have 3 of them. You have 2 dining and a ghost waitress.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I said, table 13 is on the glassed-in front porch that overlooks the street.
Which if you're looking if you're watching this, would be through this doorway, I think.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Because this, it's a little flipped because behind me is the booths. No, behind me this way, as in I would be staring at the booths, right?
Yeah, you'd be looking straight at the front door.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Because right behind you, to your right. Because if I was
that's the street side this way. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm so confused. If I was looking this way, that's the street view. Okay. You know what? Just go there. Okay. Just fucking go there. Don't make us try and describe what it looks like.
Exactly. There's also been footsteps heard coming either up or down the stairs. The stall doors in the ladies' bathroom close and lock on their own. Now, if you've ever been there, the bathrooms are terrifying just in themselves because there's going pee in the ladies' bathroom and sitting down and the door's right there. No one's coming in because you can't even open the door.
Exactly.
It's so tiny.
And the floor kind of is like on a weird angle as well, which makes you feel a bit strange. So I think the doors are just closing because the whole building's all like.
And that could be what it is. That could be what it is. Other activity reported is moving objects. So stuff for the restaurant is said to move, fly across the room, throw across the room, depending on who's there. Another little girl, could be the same one, has also been seen, but she's wearing a white Victorian nightgown. She's got blonde hair with bangs. And a male apparition has also been seen. Apparently, he's been described as looking like Rhett Butler from Gone with the Wind. He is apparently quite handsome with a handlebar mustache.
Okay.
And now another one that has been said is that upstairs on the second floor is also a dining area. They open it up when it gets busy downstairs, but it's usually for private stuff. And a lot of people have reported a very, they used to say angry, but I think he's more disgruntled man that sits up there that doesn't like people in his space. That to me sounds like Mr. Carnegie.
Yeah.
You have to remember this was his house, so why are all these people in his bloody house, right?
And I mean, who knows where he passed away? We know usually it's in that comings and goings room on the main floor, but you never know.
No,
could have been upstairs.
You don't know because you don't even know the layout. You would have to get old blueprints. Exactly. And I don't even know if the restaurant has old blueprints. So Mr. Carnegie did pass away in 1921. But yeah. But again, the hotel wise, like when it was a hotel, like the building on the property, like it did burn down. So was anybody staying there? Did they get out?
Mm-hmm.
Was it not recorded? Were they just, not someone from the area, right? Like were the books, obviously the books would have been burnt, but like,
right,
where are all these people coming from?
Well, and I mean, whenever there's a hotel situation, again, you don't know who these people are and their energy and what they're bringing. So who knows? Maybe they left a little something.
But you never know. And Jesters Court really loves their ghosts. They will talk to you about it. The nurses, oh my God, the waitresses will tell you about experiences, and it's on, I believe it's still on their website that they have a ghost. Creepy Canada has done stuff there. We have done stuff there. We did the documentary with the university students, so we'll post that so everyone can watch it because it's actually really good.
It was so good.
And you'll actually see my real notes in there.
Yes, we use them. And I don't think Mr. Murray or Mr. Kurgan comes through when we're doing that. Remember, there's a guy upstairs.
Yeah, I think
very very strongly coming through. We could hear
I
him.
think it was one of Carnegie's sons.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause
remember.
I
I
did
just
have the ones who
remember.
actually lived in the house. Like I don't have it here because fucking stupid notes. But I'm just wondering if I look at a name, if I will. Was it Charles Frederick F? I'm gonna assume it's Frederick because I don't think it was Frank.
I don't know. I just remember we had the spirit box going, and a
Yeah.
man was coming through, and then he was setting other stuff off.
Mm-hmm. I think it was one of the sons that actually lived there. I really wish I had my notes. I will find them after. I damn well know I will. They'll just like fall out of the fucking sky.
It's on the documentary anyways, because we
is.
call him out by name and he's like, that's me or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I haven't done an investigation there because I wasn't with you guys back in the olden days when you first started. I was there to do the documentary, and I have been there as a patron a couple of times. And it's a cool setting. Like, you feel the old history of it when you go in. The upstairs does have a spooky vibe, for sure. I've dined up there, and when you go into the back corner, you don't feel like we left early because I, for some reason, was just like, yeah, I'm not feeling very well. I need to leave. And I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not saying it's ghost related. But it was really weird. I just was like, I need to get out of here. And the first time I was there, we were on the main level, actually in one of these booths right behind me.
I'm pretty sure I've eaten at every booth in there.
And it's because Mark and I just started dating, and so he's like, I'm taking you somewhere special. And when we got here, he's like, this place is haunted. And I was like, I'm in love. That he took me somewhere haunted. I knew he was the one. And so I got a weird vibe from the place, the little like extra extension place, before I even knew the history of what was going on there. I felt like there's a ghost in there of a woman, like an older woman. And that's where that's Mr. and Mrs. Murray, right? That's where they usually are seen.
I think that's who people see is John and Lorena Murray.
Yeah.
They've got a good history with Port Perry too. Like I said, I have all their history. I have it, but I don't know where the hell it is.
Somewhere.
I guess I'm just not allowed to talk about them.
I know. It was strange. We weren't able to go there. Your notes are missing.
I know.
Scandal.
I know, and they tried to make us not talk about this because I'm busy when we normally record this. I have to work a 12-hour day.
I know. What is happening?
But I just found some little notes here. So James Carnegie, yeah, he was born on June 2nd, 1843. He married Louisa. There we go. See? Louisa. That's his wife.
Beautiful.
And he died on October 4th, which happens to be my kid's birthday, in 1921. He was 79. So he did live to be fairly old for that time period. But yeah, so I think Mr. Carnegie is the one who everyone feels upstairs as that disgruntled man. And I've addressed him a few times, and I think he's okay with me now. I guess because being called the disgruntled man is, not fun. You have a name, right?
Right.
So I definitely think he is there. The Murrays definitely are there. I don't know who these kids are that people see.
Maybe it's residual from like the thousands of children that Mr. Kurgan had.
Who knows? Maybe could be grandchildren. Maybe they've come back to a time in their life where they were like the happiest, right? Where they have the best memories. Like, is this from the people from the land, from the hotel? Like, what the fuck is it? Right?
Good
There's like
question.
so many who knows. When we did our investigation there, it was in 2012. And there's just, it was supposed to be a quiet night because they were open. And there was hardly anybody there, right? So we're like, sweet, we have the whole upstairs to ourselves. We can do what we want to do up there. And then when they close downstairs, we can come down, and then we could just, do a little investigation down there while they're kind of like cleaning up a little in the kitchen. That's not how it went. We showed up, we had our dinner, we ate, we chatted with the waitresses and all that. And then, we went upstairs and yeah, it was quiet. And then it wasn't, because a local bar up the street decided they wanted to close early. So all the patrons were like, let's go, Jesters Court's still open. Let's go to the bar there.
No.
Which, as you can see behind me, is a nice bar. But they were a little unruly and they were a little drunk already. And the windows of Jesters Court at the front are the original windows. They've never been replaced. Like, that's original glass from like 1914 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And apparently this guy was banging on them, because we were like, what is that noise? And the next thing you know, we're looking at the windows at the top out to the street, and there is like the manager, like head waitress, and I can't even remember, it might have been Donna at the time. She's chasing these guys with a hockey stick. Like the most Canadian thing ever.
Oh my God.
Right? And we're like, we can't, there's like this, like, she's yelling at them too. Like, should have just filmed that. But like, we knew right then and there, like, we weren't going to get much more from the evening because of all of this. And we had to call it quits. But it was like the best thing I've ever seen.
That's hilarious.
So, but we have been there plenty of times since. We used to do Dine with the Dead. Now I know another person does it, but it's different than what we do it. She just stole the name, Kathy. It's okay though.
I'm getting called out.
I'll call her out. I don't care. But our Dine with the Dead was dinner with a presentation, and then we would do like an investigation with everybody upstairs. We'd open up do ghost box and stuff, and have people like hold K2 meters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty fun, and we had a few people who had experiences with that. A lot of, feeling, not welcomed, or kind of like, what is going on? Just uncomfortable. Could have been again Mr. Carnegie going, what the fuck? But yeah, so that was our experience there. We've had people tell us, is it a little boy, or is it like some people will see a little boy, some people will see a little girl. So there's the argument over, is it a girl? Is it a boy? Is it both? Right? Mm-hmm. It's hard. Like, I really want to get in there and like do a real investigation again, like a full on, like,
yeah, I think it needs to happen.
I know it does. And we need to go to dinner.
Yeah.
Even just looking at this place is making me fucking hungry.
It's good stuff. It's a good place.
It is. It's very good. But yeah, that's Jesters Court. And it's been on a lot of, like I said, I think it's in the Haunted Ontario books by Terry Boyle. It was on Creepy Canada with Terry Boyle. We've done a lot of stuff there. We've got the whatever the fuck I'm going to say next, because my brain is just fried.
The documentary?
The documentary. I'm thinking, what word am I looking for? I was going to say video, but yeah, video. But yeah, so lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, it's a great place. Even just to go and have a drink or, apps, whatever, it's a good place. And if you've got, the Spirit Talk app on your phone and you just happen to scoot on to the washroom and put that on. It'll be fun.
Nothing like sitting on the toilet with your Spirit Talker app on while it yells out, "Eat shit!"
Imagine that.
Fuck yourself. Yes, that app does say things like that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was telling my sister about that. When I was just recently in PI, we went to this place and it was dead because it was pretty cold. It was right before it started raining. And we were the only ones in there. And so I'm like, I'm just going to go to the washroom, which was up this like flight of stairs and along this creepy hallway. And there's no one up there. And I'm, in my stall, and I hear the door. It sounded like the door kind of opened and closed. And I'm like, nothing, no one, nothing. And I'm like, so then I went down and I told my sister about it. And then a little minute later, she went up to the washroom. She came down. She's like, yeah, it's really creepy up there. I'm like, okay, I'm going back up. And so I went up. And so I sat on the toilet videotaping. Because that's what we do, people. We do the hard work.
True.
And so I think all it was is just I don't know if there's a breeze. Like, you can hear the door. It like opens slightly and closes. I don't know that it was paranormal. It's a creepy place up there. I just had to laugh because I was sitting on the toilet videotaping. Not while I was doing anything. Relax. But yeah.
Potty
Yeah.
stories. Hey, you could do a whole other podcast about that, or even a YouTube channel.
Haunted toilets. There's an idea.
Creepiest places
Oh my
to
God.
shit in America
Yeah.
or Canada.
Well, I know the Keg Mansion's female washroom has a ghost too. This is going to be an episode, people. Stay tuned. If you've got a haunted toilet story, comment below and we'll investigate. And we're not talking about like when you're on the road and you stop at some disgusting en route
Bathroom.
place. That's not haunted.
Gas station
That's
bathroom.
that's just scary for a whole other reason. But it's not ghosts.
There's a difference between scary and spooky.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
We should totally do that.
Yeah, there's gotta be other places out there. Anyways, back on topic.
That's you. I was like, who just somebody commented on our your Wildwood or my wild, I don't know who fuck posted it, where the door opens on TikTok.
I didn't comment on it.
No, somebody just did.
I just watched.
Hold on, I'll find it. We'll read it together.
I'm like, I didn't do that. Were they
Where the
getting
hell did
mad
it go?
because we were swearing? Is that what they're saying?
No, nope. I think someone said that.
The most disturbed.
Shut up.
Oh,
I
I thought they
got
left
my
like an
volume
actual.
turned down, and it's just like, oh, of course, the first video that pops up is Wildwood.
Oh,
What the fuck?
of course.
Whatever. From Zach. What does it say here? Oh, why? I don't care about the following. I just want to know. There we go.
That's probably the
I'll
only
be there in
place-
September. Super exciting.
Excellent. Honestly,
Maybe
in that
we'll be there
place,
too in
the
September. I don't know.
bathroom was like the only place that wasn't scary in that place.
It's just scary to get there.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta like fight the demons either which way in order to get there.
Oh
But
my God. I love
then you're
how
safe.
the Jesters Court episode just turned into scary bathrooms. You know.
I know. Well,
Literally.
Hey,
if you talk to anybody who's been to Jester's Court and you say, what's like the creepiest place? The first thing they're going to say is the bathroom. The ladies' bathroom.
that's what I had. Mark's mom said that to me. She was like, "Oh, do you know the place in town, Jester's Court, that's haunted? The bathroom." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." I'm like,
All
I've
right,
been there.
I'm going to be
The
honest.
scariest thing was that my knees were around my ears because the door is right there. That's the only scary thing.
I'm not going to haunt a bathroom. Why do I want to haunt a bathroom?
But it probably
get it.
wasn't a bathroom.
No, I get it. It's a very vulnerable place. People's pants are around their ankles. They can't move anywhere. Like they can't run. I get it. I understand that as a ghost. Like
Oh
you're
my
going to get these
God.
people, right? But I don't know. I think there'd be a lot more cooler places to hang out in the afterlife other than the bathroom.
But imagine back in the day that was the woman's bedroom. And so now she's stuck haunting the bedroom that's turned into a shitter. And she's just like, hey, I'm stuck in this room where people come to shit. That's perfect. Great. This is my hell.
Oh my God.
Imagine she's stuck on a loop, residual energy. And she's just like, oh my God. And then she's gone. That's what it is.
Oh my Lord. It's true though. It's true.
Oh,
We could probably
So,
talk
yes.
about this forever.
I think so. I love the idea of doing spooky shitters. That's the
We totally should. Because you know how many places have bathrooms that are haunted?
Yeah. I
That's what
can't
we'll
wait.
do. Oh my God. We're totally going to do that episode.
We're touring Canada to shit in the scariest toilet.
We could totally write a book.
Oh.
We'll
He's
call
in
it Spooky
poltergeist.
Poopy. You could tell it's a Saturday.
Canada's creepiest crappers. There we go.
Yes! Perfect. Oh my God.
Oh,
We should totally listen. We could do women's bathrooms, but we definitely need some. We'll get Ryan to do the men's
Oh.
bathroom.
I'm not doing. They're scary enough to begin with. So no, I'm not going in
Oh
there.
my God.
Although I've been in a very scary women's wash.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens sometimes. You walk in and you're like, what the fuck took place in this store? A murder? It's crazy.
Oh my
It's
God.
crazy.
Oh Lord. Thanks, Jesters Court, for bringing this out.
Exactly. Anyways, go to Jester's Court. It's great.
It's
Scaring the
is great.
shit out of you. Oh dear.
Very great. Oh my
Oh.
Lord. But yes, go visit Jester's Court because it's great. And the food is tasty, and the shepherd's pie is great, and the pierogies are great too. Like all the food's great. I don't think I've ever had a bad meal there.
No. I'm trying to think. I had this amazing wrap and I can't remember what it was.
The
I think it was
Jester's
like their I don't remember. But we sat outside on the patio because it was beautiful. And I had a really good Caesar. I think. I don't know. And then I had, which is unusual for me. I generally don't drink a Caesar. I don't know. Anyways. And then I had this wrap and it was so good. Anyways, go to
Alright.
Justice Court.
Mhm.
The end.
Yes. But yes, if you've been to Jester's Court, if you've had an experience, we'd love to know because there's a lot of things that we don't know who's the who and what's the what. So if you've had experience with the little girl or the little boy, we'd love to hear it. I know some people say the little boy drowned in the creek beside the place. I've heard those stories. Don't know if you have, but if you have, or you have other theories, we'd love to hear it too because, you know, the more we know, the cooler we can investigate with. Well, what the fuck? Anyways, I think I need a drink myself.
The end.
The end. But yeah, no, we use the information to investigate more. We can all this like cool information can be validated. That's what I meant.
There you go. Good
Okay.
job. We'll just edit that in.
Yeah, we'll just edit that. I don't edit shit, so you're gonna get it just like it is.
That's why we're real people.
Yeah, so real. But anyways, so yes, send us your experiences or stories, questions about Jester's Court. I might be able to find the answers if I find my notes, but yeah, you can send them to me. But yeah, email us at paranormalpodcast@gmail.com. So PAREHNORMAL podcast@gmail.com. Or send it to us on Facebook or Instagram, or heck, you can even send us a message on TikTok. Just look up Paranormal Podcast. Because yeah, we're just like that. So now I'm gonna go post a whole bunch of stuff and look for And the next week's episode is all about places we want to investigate. Our bucket list places.
Nice.
You're just like, wait a second, I don't remember that.
I know I don't. I'm like, shit, I better look some stuff up. Okay, I can do that. I got a week.
Yeah. So I'll give my list of like places, like bucket list places I want to investigate, and then you can list all the bucket list places you want to investigate. I just did like Canada and the States.
Oh, including the States? All right.
Might as well.
It'll be a lot. Okay.
Just the whole fucking state. I think I've got 3 places in the States, I think I put on mine.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'll get on it.
I have to take a look at my notes. It's what I write during the week while I'm at work and I'm bored.
Nice.
Yes, I have a job that does get boring sometimes, so I get to do that fun stuff.
Anyway, I'm going back to the gardening.
Yeah, she's gonna go dig a hole because she's looking to bury people. So yeah.
Yep. Oh wait.
What the hell was that?
Fireworks.
Oh my god, you went all sparkly.
Is it this? Stop it.
You just had a firework come out of your head and you went all sparkly. What the hell?
I don't know what happens, people.
I gotta start doing my thing on my phone.
No. Okay, edit that out because I don't know what that was. But I don't know what that was. Anyways, I just became a firework.
You exploded. Oh my god. We need to end this before we... Anyways, have a great week, everyone. You're going to want to tune in next week for our bucket list. And if you happen to be someone who works at or owns or manages stuff on our bucket list, we'd love to hear from you too. So we're a little excited for this one. But yeah, anyways, have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your week. Bye. I did not stop recording that in time, but I am now.